So it just occurred to me that I haven't actually made a video on the Liberalists, and a group that, I'm not too involved in. I hope to be more eventually. I just haven't had the time lately, but I haven't talked about them yet. Back when I had the conversation series, which I am bringing back, I had to put it on a temporary hiatus for various reasons with my schedule. I will bring it back hopefully within the next month. I know plenty of people I want to bring on. But I had two conversations there with episode 1 and episode 4, two Australian liberalists, which I'll leave the link to those in the description if you're interested. But yeah, I've never actually done a video explaining why I'm a part of them, why I support them, why I think you should too. Now, I'm a libertarian. I'm more of a right-wing libertarian, whatever you want to call that. The terms are a bit murky, but I want to make the case for libertarians joining the Liberalists, not to so much invade and co-opt the Liberalists, but why, as a libertarian, you should support them. Because what I've appreciated is, and I will say full disclosure, there's actually the Liberalist Society and the Liberalist International Association. The International Association, which is LIA. I'm part of the Facebook group, but I don't really get too much involved in. Nothing against them, I just don't really get involved. And then there's the Liberalist Society, which that's the website right here, that I'm part of, in that I'm not very high up or anything. But I do some work for them. I'm part of the group chats and all that. So I talk to the people on occasion. So I have some connection there, just putting out my biases. But as a libertarian, I wanted to make the case for why you should join them. And actually, the fact that they're not libertarian, the fact that they're classical liberal as opposed to libertarian, is one of the reasons why I actually like them. I consider that a plus, not a minus. Because in these group chats, or these people that I talk to, it's I talk to people that used to be on the left and then are now Dave Rubin type, Sargon type, they're not even right wing, they're just centrists that don't really find much of a home on the left and aren't really they're not traditional conservatives, so they don't really find a home on the right. And they're not anti-government enough to support minarchism or any sort of libertarianism. And they're also, so they find themselves in the center, pretty much. The center left, center right. There are also plenty of libertarians in there. I'm part of the group. There are also plenty of actual people that have always been conservatives in that group. So it's neat how everyone can get together and talk. And I think that's the best group out there. I would rather have a group with all these people talking than a libertarian group, because of the libertarian group, of course, is not throwing out non-libertarian ideas all the time. There's not much of a discussion or a debate, and honestly, I don't think it's just as effective as coming up with the best ideas. And now again, I know people are going to attack me for that. For libertarians that watch this are going to attack me for that, because I have nothing against libertarians. I just want to get things done. And I also don't want to sacrifice my principles. I have a goal, and I want to achieve it. I have libertarian principles, a libertarian society in mind that I want to achieve. And, that's it. And my issue with certain libertarians is that, of course, there's a lot of infighting. There's a lot of talk and debate with a lot of, the big-name libertarians of how do we get things done, because it's been 40, 50 years or whatever since the libertarian movement has really, started to grow, and we don't have much to show for it. We have small battles here and there, which is great, but overall, not much to show for it. Even, the legalization of marijuana was mostly done by, I think, the left wing. And it's something that libertarians support, but it's that battle's pretty much won and over, and it's not a minor battle. It's certainly a big battle, but that's not something the libertarians did on their own. What's most important is fighting things that both the far left, far right, and establishment right and left don't like, which is a really tough battle. But anyways, the reasons I'm a fan of them. So you have the libertarian ideologues who say voting is bad, taxation is theft, therefore I won't support lower taxes, because by supporting lower taxes, I'm still supporting some form of taxation, so that's horrible. I'm not a fan of those people. I'm not a fan of the people that seem to run a lot within the Libertarian Party who are anything for votes. We want to bring people into our party, get them to vote for us. We don't care if they agree with us or what. It's not about winning people over, it's just about getting votes, which I know I'm painting a very bland picture. I'm only referring to those two extremes. Obviously, there are a bunch of people in the middle there. But it's those people that I really am not a fan of that seem to be overwhelming the party. We have organizations, think tanks, and that writing policy papers. That they put out this big policy paper, it gets read 4 times by 4 people that are part of the institute. And 2 of those were the proofreaders. 1 of them was the writer himself. And then it gets thrown in the trash and never to be seen again. And then all these libertarians donate to the organization so they can put out more papers, and then that's it. Personally, there's like a lot of these organizations are necessary, like the Mises Institute. I love that organization. I have so many books from that organization. It's fantastic. Like I think that's a great organization, and they're doing a lot of good work. However, it's like, why aren't we getting stuff done? So in that sense, I'm leaning towards I went to the Liberalists as kind of like a group of people who were like, yes, we have principles of less government, more freedom. We're against the far left. We're against the far right. We're not like traditional conservative types, which can be very annoying at times. And they're just out to say, this is what we want to do. We're activists. Let's get stuff done. And it's like, that's what I appreciate. They're like, let's get stuff done. And the group is so intellectually diverse that anyone can post pretty much anything. And as long as it's not a troll comment, you will get honest responses. That's what I appreciate. This is like, I'm part of like 20 libertarian groups on Facebook, and I never comment on any of them. In fact, I've muted pretty much all of them just because I don't post much, and I don't post much on those groups because I just don't feel a need to. Whereas the Liberalist group, I probably post more on there than I post on anything else outside of that group, just because it's a very enjoyable place to throw around ideas like that. And it's something where if you're a libertarian and you want to strengthen your values, like, throw some ideas in there, argue for your case in a group like that where people share the same general values of like liberty is better, like classical liberalism type stuff. But you're gonna have some not backlash in terms of attacks or anything, but you're gonna have some critiques. You're gonna have a lot of constructive criticism because these people may agree with you on the general overarching concept, but they're not libertarians. And I have gotten to the point where my opinion is basically, if you're in the like, there's two terms for libertarian. There's the ideology, and then there's the as opposed to authoritarians, like the bottom half of the political spectrum. The people that are like, yes, more liberty than we have now, kind of thing. And in that sense, I am fine with anyone as long as they fit that category. And that's the thing, like, in terms of a classical liberal society, I don't think we'll ever get to a libertarian society in my lifetime. That's fine. I've accepted that. That's fine. But if we can get to a classical liberal society in my lifetime, like, I'm comfortable with that. I'm fine. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but I'd be perfectly fine with that. Now, if we were to get to a classical liberal society, like, all libertarians should want that, because then we're that much closer. Like, I'd rather be in a classical liberal society because the distance between that and libertarianism is much lower. There is a much shorter distance than libertarianism and what we have now. So it is in every libertarian's best interest to at least support the group, because so far I haven't found anything they've actually done that I've strongly disagreed with. In fact, that's what makes it great, because there are certain things like the GOP, for example. Like, there's that big debate within libertarians. Should we support the GOP? Because you have Ron Paul that succeeded in... we don't have any libertarian congressmen, but we have Ron Paul. Gary Johnson ran as a Republican and won when he was governor of New Mexico. And we have Rand Paul, Justin Amash, Thomas Massie, all these people that consider themselves libertarians that all run as Republicans. So it's like, why don't we just support the Republicans? Well, the problem with Republicans generally is that when they get in power, like, there's not much, they do a lot of bad things. They do a lot of things that go directly against what libertarians want. Whereas within this liberalist group, you might find things where we might diverge slightly on something, but overall, we want the same things, where the group is intellectually diverse enough that I think on the little nitpicky issues, like, they're not going to gain any traction and take over the group, because everyone divides so much on the group that the only thing it can really support are those overarching principles, which is great. And now, even if the weird thing is, like, if libertarians took over the liberalist group, I don't think that'd be a good thing. Like, I think every group has their place. Libertarians, do your own thing, focus on that stuff, but take a look at the Liberalists. I think it actually does good. Now, people have attacked it for multiple reasons, and I want to go through those. They have attacked them. They are an individualist group, and people have attacked them for being a collective of individualists, a group of individualists, which I have done multiple articles and multiple videos going through why that's stupid and why, like, you're just kind of making a fool out of yourself if you make the argument that, a group of individualists, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, yes, it does. You just don't understand the terms. You're just taking the face of it and not actually looking into the actual definition of the term. So I will leave all kinds of videos and articles in the description where I cover that, because that's dumb. Like, don't embarrass yourself by saying that. But then there are other things. What's the critiques of people like like, oh, trying to, I guess the group originally started out as like people just doing like response videos on the internet. There was the old skeptic community, whatever you want to call that, the kind of part of that morphed into the liberalists. But overall, I see attacks just for like activism, that you can't take this centrist down the middle line. And of course, there's all kinds of definitions for centrist, but it's classical liberal. Like it's focused on the original ideas of liberalism. It's in the sense of, well, we can't use the term liberal anymore because it doesn't represent liberalism, so we'll come up with a new name. That's essentially what it means. But yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm just saying, I'll leave the link to the website in the description, theliberalist.net. I'm encouraging people just to check it out. Maybe join the Facebook group, follow it for a little bit, and see what happens. They're working on a ton of things. I mean, see, there's the, why is my mouse working? There it is. There's the About Us. Find a local group. There's a bunch of different groups. There's an Australian group, UK group. I mean, the activism's mostly in the US and the UK, and Australia, from what I've seen. And I don't know if there's I think there's a Canadian page. But there's quite a few Canadians in the group. Newsfeed, I've never been to that. Editorials, I mean, every so often, they don't publish too much, but they publish some stuff. If you're like a writer interested in publishing stuff, like, they'll take your stuff. I mean, as long as it's good quality. But I've written something for them that I think is on the second page a while back. There we go, I wrote something. But yeah, like, if you're interested in publishing stuff, like libertarian related stuff that overlaps with classical liberalism, send it in to them. Like, do it. It's great. They have a research team that I believe I'm a part of that. All kinds of great stuff. So I'm not just going to go through the website and say, hey, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. But it's a good organization that I encourage people to do, because I've actually found more, I felt, as a libertarian, I felt more at home in this group than any other libertarian group, because it's just, they're actually focused on getting stuff done. It's not, they're focused on ideological values and philosophy and all these, like, great discussions, but they're not, it doesn't seem as like rigidly enforced, I should say, as certain libertarian groups. And that's coming as someone who was part of like libertarian activist groups, Young Americans for Liberty, and all that for the past like 3-4 years now. But I highly recommend that libertarians check it out. I highly recommend anyone check it out, honestly. But I'm just saying, like, if you're a libertarian that's sick and tired of like, why aren't we actually getting stuff done? You're trying to do your part. I mean, you're putting out videos, you're writing articles, you have a blog, whatever, and you're like, why isn't anything happening? Like, why are we're going backwards, not forwards? Here's a group I think you should really put your energy into. And again, like, if this group gets what they want, if this group got everything they asked for, we wouldn't be at a libertarian society, but we'd be pretty dang close. And it's like, I can't think of a single negative thing about this group. Even the fact that, like I said, that they're not libertarian is a good thing about this group, because they're everything. They're a little bit of everything. I mean, they're not far left, they're not far right, but there's social democrats in that group, which again, I have nothing against. People being like that, being in that group, I think it's fantastic. Like, it contributes a lot to really figuring things out, which is what I'm here to do. Like, I'm here to teach people things as to the best of my ability, but I'm also here to figure things out. That's why I called the show The Conversation, because it's like, I am engaging in a conversation. I am not preaching stuff. I am not sitting back and learning. It's a back and forth kind of thing. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. If you agree or disagree, I'm interested to hear your perspectives on that. And I mean, if you're a libertarian that's completely opposed to everything I'm saying, tell me why, because I'm interested in hearing. And if you find this group and you're a fan of the group and you enjoy it, share this video, like, spread it around, bookmark it, join the group. If you like it, share it around, let more people know about it. But I think it's overall doing a great thing. But like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.